Okay. Today is uh, April 28th, 2023. Even though it came out on April 15th and 16th, Dave's phone is bugged from protected custody case that agent opened. He admitted where Danny was talking to Gabe and them after my daughter-in-law's mother's memorial service that they went up to talk to him and said it's not, I found out what she said to Shay. None of this is funny. Okay. And he said, I called Dad. Dad said he had some guy named Pete up there doing it to her before. He cannot hire a hitman. He cannot hire someone to stalk me. You do realize that. There's a Fourth Amendment above the house. A Fourth Amendment. You have a right to be safe and secure in your own home. Nixon couldn't bug an office. He got impeached. He was president. Nothing they have is admissible. I went to the Portage County Sheriff's, and the Portage County Sheriff's, what these people are saying they did is illegal. We couldn't look or listen. I said it's the Fourth Amendment. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. Yes. So they have nothing admissible. They kicked in my door on the 6th day. Dave made up a lie about another realtor passing out keys. Don't report it. And then they can't pass out keys and have been off the market for 6 days. And it had a lockbox. And we took it out. He didn't want them to find their dirty little cameras they set up. All right. Then I'm waking up with bruises in the next week. The house before ours on John Thomas is a guy who lives there. He comes running over. I almost passed out in the front yard. I had bruises. I was throwing up, dizzy, heart racing. Almost passed out, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Here, they were date rape drugging me. Lying, they had sodium pentothal reports. I put it on my Facebook. Sodium pentothal, illegal sodium pentothal. It's been outlawed since 17. It's used in lethal injections. Okay? It used to be an anesthetic that they would use. It's spy flick movie stuff. It's too lethal. Okay? And then I, false confession, sodium pentothal. Google it. Questioner gets what it wants, right or wrong. You'll say yes to anything. It's a lethal outlaw drug that you lie under. And it's spy flick movie stuff. They ran this case like a spy flick movie. Now, if the FBI and the police are afraid of a retired judge that is kicking in people's doors, breaking in, date rape, drugging them, raping them, beating them, and the poor victims waking up with bruises, throwing up, and has an infection all summer long and thought the well water was just toxic and you're washing your hands and your body and it's causing an infection. Here I'm being raped and beat. And my doctor put me on iron pills thinking I was anemic. And when I sat and talked to the nurse about how they said they were date rape drugging me and why I was getting sick, the headaches, the throwing up, and then the infection, she's like, yeah, you were treated for all that in 18. Here they were drugging me, beating me, and so I'd be sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. There's 300 date rape drugs that you'll sleepwalk to for 4 to 6 hours, and with no memory. They have admitted from at the Oakland apartment December 9th, 21, 4 p.m. that everything was drugged and photoshopped. Same day, Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. White man bald with dark eyes disturbing food. That everything was drugged and photoshopped. My client on Shepler Church Road, the White House before, the neighbor, they said retired Judge Pete drugged and photoshopped and made everything up on me. Okay? February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory, a Latino guy personally admitted in front of people that he personally drugged me first and told me to say it. People ran in Save-A-Lot. My one client lives on 6th Street. People run out of their house yelling to postman. These people hacked into the protected custody case and sold police information by Thanksgiving of 18. Retired Judge Pete from the Ravenna Courthouse thinks he's some kind of mafia lord down here. Now, and he's not. May 25th, 21. See, Dave was manipulating several women up there. In high school, he had 17 girlfriends. Okay? There was this fat blonde girl, drove a blue car. Her and her parents were harassing me because she thought she was going to get my life. She came down after they admitted the church people broke in before and drugged me and told me to say weirdo stuff. She came down on the Saturday after May 25th, 21, and about 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the evening yelled at goons, "Are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession." Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her what to say before. That was 21. 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second close offense. There used to be a lady and little kids living there. And they read it out. Dave and then a group of the neighbors told a police officer with a badge and a clipboard that I was drugged and told to say it before. There was an African American lady said she was going to extort money out of the shower scene in the other room, and she showed up November 2nd or 3rd, 21, and Save-A-Lot and told them they made everything up on me. It was all them and not me. Nobody should say a word. Then, January 1922, Department of Disability, 11 o'clock in the morning, they told them I was drugged and told to say it. They admitted to framing me March 24th, 22, 1:30. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know, I wish we wouldn't have done it. Those people even raped her. Okay? May 12th, 22, they found a tape of the boys emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22, the shower scene was done on purpose. They know everything is drugged and photoshopped on me, and they have admitted to all these heinous crimes. I had bruises, I was throwing up, and I had personal infections. And I didn't know what was wrong with me, and if he was beating on me, why wasn't I waking up? Now, April 15th to 16th, where I had sat, and I thought it was some stalker named Stephen Eric, where the police had been looking for him, and he came in and confessed November 1822. He was high as a kite. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to do it, my idea to come up with it, my idea to say it for all these people to turn on, and they fell for it. Ha, 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 ha. Then I ID'd in November 24, 22 at Mercy Medical as the Eric they were looking for, and that nobody should say a word. Okay? The nurse to the Canton officer. And the lady Canton officer was talking about Will bullying me into a false statement. You know, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. See, this is where, how deep is Will in this? Is Will her father? Or is he just friends with retired Judge Pete? Because someone went up and told on that church. See, that's where April 15th or 16th of 23, Dave's phone's tapped from the case. Legally tapped. Because an officer talked to Dave about the threats on my life. And Danny and Jen, my son and daughter-in-law, and her brother were talking to my grandson Gabe and Shay, where I'm trying to be warned about the stalker. And that he has porn of all of us. They have obtained and dispensed kitty porn. They have sex traffic videos of me and my husband naked in bed and making love. They have Photoshop shower scenes. That's asinine. And they have date rape, drugged me, and told me say whatever it is. So I'd be sleepwalking with no memory, thinking they're funny. Now, their tapes are not admissible. They cannot even look or listen to them. They were, even like the Hartville police told one of my clients' neighbors that they could never look or listen. They had no right in my home. Dave can't hire a stalker. Just like the Louisville police, even the FBI can't be in your home outside a protected light case with statements. We could never look or listen and be illegal to. Yeah, just like the Portage County Sheriffs. What these people did was illegal, and we could never look or listen. I said it's the Fourth Amendment. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. Yes. You have a right to privacy. You have a right to remain quiet and a right to an attorney. People act like they're the stupidest idiots on earth, making fun of me for a human trafficking retired judge. In it with this big human trafficking drug trader scam that they're grabbing people out of this area, and people end up losing family members and they're dying. They think it's funny hurting people. It's like there's lead in the water around here and causing mass retardation. To find vile crimes funny instead of being horrified. Some retired judge breaking in, stalking a family, he goes to jail for that. They admitted they were using sodium pentothal, and they came out with date rape drugs, drugging me up so I'm sleepwalking, saying and doing everything they did. How much you want to bet they drugged up Eric? Because where he was high coming in confessing? Because you know what Danny told Shay and Gabe? I called Dad. And Dad said he had some guy named Pete on his own doing it to her. And he was the one up there. He can't give permission for some man to stalk me in my home. He can't hire a hitman. And then to drug me, beat me, rape me, and leave me sore, beaten, bruised, and infected. And leaving me sick. The sick SOB people in Louisville in the park, we all know what that sick bastard did to her. See, that's where they sold the login by Thanksgiving of 18. They sold police information. Somebody went in, he's even ratted out Will for going up to that church. He said there was some agent went up to that church before, and that he had seen him, and that he was asking people about the threats on life. Now, that was either the agent that picked up my case, or it was retired Judge Pete with a fake FBI badge. Now, is Michelle retired Judge Pete's daughter, or Will's? The agent out of his area picking up a case, letting the Detroit boys' kidnapper get away, because I didn't know if there was a camera above the bench, and it wasn't my place to find the damn camera. It was his. Now, we're going to put it this way. He stole every dime of my informant money. He fed me to the human traffickers to beat, rape, torture, bash my skull in. And while they human traffic people out of this area, grabbed and killed people, that agent has a lot of explaining to do. And where the sheriffs and the marshal picked up the case, they got 800 bad guys out of my case. That's how sick all this is. That agent should go to jail the rest of his life. There's badgering laws. If you don't know if there's a camera above you, Yeah, I didn't know. He can't threaten to arrest me. I'm going to go ahead and upload this. But yeah, they need to start realizing how not funny this is, and how people are dying, and how not funny it is to kill people and to stalk them. They even admitted to framing me March 24th, 22, 1:30. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know. I wish we wouldn't have done it. My car picked it up. They sold the login. They admitted shower scenes in the other room, that they photoshopped everything. My one client on Shepler Church Road, her neighbor, they told her retired Judge Pete drugged and photoshopped and made everything up on me. You know, my ex-husband, his insurance called me. Left a message. Said something about covering some, but for her. Is Michelle pregnant? They're 64 years old. And if she's that young blonde girl, does he think it's funny bringing her here and that old couple that was harassing me? People try to say that was Will. And he was involved in March of 18. I didn't call the FBI till September 23rd, 18. They all said he had no right touching my case. He let people die. And he stole over $377,000 from my case, and the FBI owes me that money. See, I don't care if it was Dave and some guy named Pete doing that stunt at that church, because Dave already knew and there was no staying quiet. And if he didn't find their button cameras, them stalking me, he didn't arrest him, then he's an accessory to stalking, human trafficking, rape, obtaining and dispensing kiddie porn, sex trafficking videos, human trafficking people, drugging, attempted murder, and assault with a deadly weapon. See, Pete should go down for trying to be a little mafia lord here. And if that agent knew he was doing all those crimes and he didn't arrest him, it makes him an accessory. Now, are the police going to step up and arrest Dave for his admission that he hired some hitman to frame me and drug me and beat me and rape me? Are they afraid of Dave? They're afraid of retired Judge Pete? Because this is a disgrace that when I talk to somebody 2 hours away, the police are using your case that the agent opened to get these guys, and they're not releasing a lot of information. And then 2.5 weeks later, they do an 800 people sweep. I had over 200 drug traders and human traffickers around me the first month, and they were breaking and drugging the hell out of me in protected custody. And they can have them dead to rights. It's this sick. And people still say stuff to me. Most of them are saying we won't say a word because of that sick bastard did to her. They already know I'm drugged and framed. And stalking tapes that are not even admissible. The FBI can't look at them. They weren't done by police and agencies in a home under a threat of life. They were illegally obtained by a stalker hired by my husband that was trying to kill me, that framed me, and had this retired judge drug me, human traffic me, rape me, and beat me. And Photoshop scenes, in case I didn't die, they thought it would work, and they're not allowed to even look at it. The Department of Justice pulled their badge as an accessory. And in the meantime, the drug dealers that were helping out came around and admitted to all the things they did to me, and the stalking tapes they can't even look at. Someone needs to fix this. And Dave needs to go to jail for his confession. And they've been talking about it from North Canton down to Massillon. Dave ratted out Will for telling on her. And nobody can say a word because Dave had some guy named Pete on his own doing it to her. Some guy named Pete on his own goes to jail for all those crimes. Unless people are afraid of him.